Hi, this is Jody from Garden Hands, and we're back at the hay wagon. We planted the hay wagon, I believe it was in May, and we have Supertunias in, and we have, I believe it's 8 Supertunias and 3 Salvias, and it's coming along. We're probably not at the peak for how it's going to look. Usually that would be about another week or two. Overall, we're very happy with how the wagon turned out. We did cut back the salvia once, and so we're just on our second flush of color on the salvia. Overall, we like pink, or I like pink, so we're pleased with the colors as well. It's always fun to see what we'll do next year.
This is Lindsay. I'm going to cut in and interrupt Mom's video to give a quick little update on some of the pots that I had planted earlier this spring as well. I didn't think we needed a separate video for it, but I just wanted to give a quick update on how things were looking. And this pot that you see here, it has rose impatiens, diamond frost euphorbia, and back to the fuchsia salvia. They are doing great. This is located on the north side of my house, so they get mostly shade all day. This pot on the end here happens to get a little bit of morning sun. It is hooked up to drip. It looks like I missed taking photos or video of when this salvia in the back here was blooming for the second time, but it looked great. The impatiens are doing phenomenal. I will definitely remember that for next year. So the diamond frost euphorbia, the white stuff here in the middle, when I bought this, I noticed that it was really tightly balled together. And I thought, oh, you know, once it gets a little bit of water, it gets in some soil, the roots grow, it's going to kind of branch out and give you that airy texture that euphorbia is known for. And it didn't. It stayed in this tight little compact ball. It was a kind of a dud. I do like when the euphorbia works its way and intermingles with the other plants in the pot, but this one I definitely could have skipped. The salvia was a win. I think it would have bloomed probably better had they been in full sun, but because they're a perennial, I will get to use these somewhere else in the yard, so for me that kind of makes up for it. And the impatiens were also definitely a win. They look great. So this is the same combination. I just wanted to show it's on the other side of my garage. This one receives a little bit of afternoon sun. It is also hooked up to drip. However, you can see that the salvia did not bloom for a second time yet. There are buds in here and it looks like it will bloom, but all 3 pots are kind of on different schedules as far as the salvia. So I kind of expected that being on the north side of the house, but I just wanted to kind of test it and see what would work. The pot that's in the middle that gets pretty much no sun, it may bloom a second time, but it's quite a bit further behind. So I don't know that I would put this combination in here again next year, but it was kind of fun to try, and I get to use the salvia somewhere else in the yard. So this pot, I don't think I actually planted this on a video, but I love this pot so much, so I wanted to include it in the update. It's in a galvanized wash tub, I think, that I had drilled some holes into. And I had some pansies in here early spring. And then I put 2 of these sparkling amethyst verbenas in here, and they went nuts. So this pot receives afternoon full sun, and it's getting water, I don't know, every few days or something like that, but it is loving its life. The verbena spread, they're beautiful. They kind of look sparkly because there's 3 different colors of purple on the blooms. So I am thrilled with this pot. I will definitely put verbena up at the top of my list for next year for this location. And the last set of pots that I wanted to give an update on are at the front of my house. So in the front you can see I have Supertunia Vista bubblegum. They're doing great. It's funny, the ones on the right are hooked up to drip that runs every day. The ones on the left are hooked up to drip. However, my timer doesn't really work that well, so when I remember that side of the sidewalk gets water. So they are not quite as advanced as the ones on the right. Then up on the step in the larger containers, I have Calibrachoa, an Ipomoea or sweet potato vine, and a Dracaena. And I love these pots. They are doing great. The one on the left, again, is hooked up to the watering system that isn't getting it every day. So that one's a little bit smaller, and I have a little bit of damage on some of the sweet potato vines, but that's all right. I love this combination, and possible I may repeat it next year. Maybe I'll stick some begonias in there instead of the grass. The other pot that I have up front is filled with a Coleus. This was Limetime Coleus, and it's going to be huge. I've been pinching this guy back several times. I'm okay if he gets a little bit bigger than he is, but I don't want it so incredibly large that he just takes over the wall of the house. In front of that I have the Love Swept Calibrachoa, and this is super cute. I really like this combination in the front. The only thing that I am making note of for next year is that I can't actually see this pot when you're walking up the steps. So the pots in front of this with the purple Calibrachoa are so much taller. So this one needs to go on a stand so that you can see it when you walk up the sidewalk. So it makes a little bit more of an impact. So that's an update on some of the pots that I had planted earlier this spring. I'm gonna send it back over to Mom and have her show you what the hay racks look like.
We wanted to update you on the hay rack progress. Earlier in the spring, we planted 3 Supertunias in each of the hay racks. They're 44-inch hay racks, and we have the Silverberry, Bubblegum, and Fuchsia Supertunias, along with, and it's a little bit harder to see, so it's not quite as vigorous a grower, is a Verbena. Overall, we are very, very happy with how they're looking. We installed drip, and they get watered twice a day for 5 minutes each time, and then once a week I give them some Miracle Grow as a little added bonus. We did have granular fertilizer in the soil, but we give them a little bump up since they're such big bloom producers. These Vista petunias will continue to grow in the next 2 months, and they'll start to hang down, at which time we'll probably just trim them up and give them a little bit of a haircut, and that helps flush out new blooms. Right now we have, they're starting to cascade on the other side of the pool fence, which is actually what we were hoping was going to happen. We put 6 hay racks on the pool fence, and really they're all doing well, and the pool fence has not swayed at all. We're thinking about what we'll be doing for next year in the hay racks, whether we'll stay with the same 3 Supertunias or go a different color route. We know we'll use Supertunias, and I think we'll probably cut back and just put 3 Supertunias in it, as they really are the show, or they put on the show in the hay racks. You can tell that the Superbenia doesn't really keep up with the Supertunias. It's still pretty, but I don't know if it's worth putting that plant in. We didn't share our planting of these pots in any earlier videos, but they were planted at the same time. There's just 1 Supertunia in each pot. The pots are about 20 inches in diameter. They're not on irrigation, but they do get Miracle Grow about once a day. They get full sun. There's no shade here at all, and they're loving it. These are the Olivia Rose Austin plants that we planted the bare roots right after Memorial Day. So we're in the middle of July, and it already has 13 buds and a bloom that's just starting to open. They are a little fragrant, which is nice, but they all adjusted and are showing nice growth, nice healthy looking plants. We have about 21 roses on this flower bed, and so this year we added some cat's pajamas, and we're liking how that looks. They're kind of sweet next to the pink flowers, and all have done real well in the conditions here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends about our gardening videos or the projects that we have going on in Wisconsin.